don't think you could manage? I wouldn't be able to keep things straight. I mean, just take the state of my desk, for example. I'm sure you'd procrastinate less if you were being paid. That's true, though. I'd be paid to do it, like a professional. My dad's a pretty prominent director in the advertisement business. I'd rather not slather his name in dirt. I mean, oh, you're always telling me how I don't know until I've tried. Ugh. Don't cleverly use my own advice against me. I know you're right, or I'm right, but I still feel like I've grown into the person that my parents expected to be. But you have grown, though. Even in the short time I've gotten to know you, university was a huge learning curve for us. And I'm certainly not the same person I was 4 years ago. I guess I just had these ideas of who I would be after all this. I think I surprised my family in a lot of ways. They still struggle with my pronouns, and I don't know. You kind of inherit those norms and values, right? Oh, for sure. I mean, it scares me. You pick up parts of them whether you want to or not. I try not to think about it too much. How the hell do you manage? I get myself stuck in these absolute spirals. I just am who I am. No point in worrying about who made me that way. When it comes to what motivates me, what I want in life, I think about that a lot. Oh, I just want to get things right. Me too. Like, I think we're always expected I'd get a good, respectable job and settle down with a good wife. I don't think they resent me for it, but you can feel it, right? Jesus, this game is hitting a little bit too close to fucking home right now. Yeah, I know what you mean. But I think my parents would be chill with a lot of things, though, since none of us are particularly normal, strictly speaking. Eccentric might be a better fitting than not normal. Well, they mean the same thing back at home. We even have this saying, something like, a nail that sticks out gets hammered down. Jesus, that's terrifying. But I guess our educational system does a pretty good job of that too. Obviously, there are exceptions, but the general consensus there is conform, don't complain. My parents would forgive me if I never settled down with a beautiful husband in a beautiful house, but I'd be deemed a social pariah. I suppose it's a universal experience. What do you expect, colonizer? There is something in not fitting in, though. Being an outsider is a direct attack on the status quo. Right, existing as pariahs. Even so, I wish I had that sense of belonging. The only people who don't want me for some kind of joke are the friends I've made here. Whenever I catch up with high school friends, all they say about me is that I'm so quirky, so artsy. It's upsetting realizing how little you have in common with your old friends. You've got some good friends here, though, eh? Of course. But I remember being so close to my high school friends. You grew up, and they didn't. Or just didn't go the same way as you. Right? Sometimes scares me how little people change. For international school, it sure was homogenous. You can afford to stay the same if you have money. If you're set on the right track, put into all the right schools, given all the right connections, then you're rarely exposed to failure. Well, I went to school with them. How come I'm such a failure? These systems are rigid. Some people just slip through. Or maybe I just didn't pay enough attention in class. That's probably what it is. I'm really not sure what lessons I've learned here. If any, I feel like I've learned to be lucky. Oh? Don't you feel like you've earned anything? I'm sure you've learned plenty of skills over the last few years. Well, sure, but they actually get me anywhere? I feel like there must be some universal puzzle that I'm yet to figure out. You seem to be doing alright so far. Like, Yeah, we're not sure what to do next, but we've graduated, right? Counts for something. Well, I mean, look at me. I really put all my eggs in one basket. You know, when I applied for university, I only picked one option. Christ, I did the same thing applying for foundation. I mean, don't most people have that one place that they set their heart on? I'm not sure I understand. It's not that simple. It's just like, I'll set my sights on something, and it's this or nothing type deal. I feel like I'm just begging to trip up and fail real hard on one of these days. Come on, you really think you're doomed for failure? Well, maybe not. But I never really explored my options while I had the chance. You had other options? I guess I never felt anything like that. I gave up on all my non-creative courses during 6th form. I could have done something else. I was just bad at exams. What sort of paths do you think you might have gone down? For being a late night talk, like to go to bed, this is really freaking deep, bro. I've always been passionate about music. What held you back? It seemed like it meant a lot to you. I mean, I was self-taught, and I never properly learned any theory. It just got to the point where I couldn't find the time. I mean, did you need all the stuff? Maybe. Maybe not. I just feel like such an imposter. Perhaps I could have made something of it. I feel so guilty for giving it up. Really? I mean, it was really good. It was just too much for me to keep up with all at once. Something I had to give, and I seem to have the most grip on my visual work. I just can't get past this feeling of flatness. It's like the only paths I can see are straight and narrow. I just don't want to live that way. Not even to reach an eventual goal. Things have to open up someday. I'll intend to try, because what other options do I have? But the thought of it makes me so terribly sad. What about it makes you so sad? I feel like I think it's the lack of choice, or the illusion of choice. So maybe there isn't just one path. Maybe there's like 4 of them, but you're all much the same. They're all much the same. They are all much the same. Okay. None of them have any depth. I feel like I've arrived at life's train station, but instead of a season's pass, all I have is this tattered lottery ticket. And so I spend my days checking the timetable, watching everyone else leave the station. But there's a choice, though. Don't you think it's worth holding on to that? Oh, I cling to it, because it's all I've got. I do know, Bo. I'm trying too. I don't know what I'm doing either. You say you're stuck at the station, but I'm lost in the forest. I'd follow any path I can take. These last few weeks, I don't know what's been going on. I know I've completely lost track many times. I feel like my memory's been all out of whack. I don't know. It seems like a par for the course, Bo. Sometimes you say things that really stay with me, and you just don't remember them. No, I know, but like, even worse than usual. I've been floating around this flat like a ghost. I hardly know what day it is. Right? These days I feel like I could just dissolve. We've been spending too much time in our own heads. I've certainly been doing all my living up there, in my skull. That's so much time floating around in there, you know? You know, we can always talk about it, right? I know. I can't say why I haven't. I always mean to do all these things, but I just end up pushing them back. Can't quite summon the will. I guess I know you're struggling too, and I don't want to be a burden. Oh, I've never felt that way about you. You're allowed to feel down. I mean, Christ. You're leaving the country. We're all gonna miss you. You can talk to me too. I've been trying to be strong because I felt like you were too. Yeah. Okay. Let's make a deal. From now on, we're talking about everything. Alright? We're gonna need to do more than ever once I'm on the other side of the world. It's gonna be a lot to get used to, huh? Remember when we spent the whole summer texting each other? It's gonna be a lot longer than a summer this time. Yeah. There's so much we plan to do with this flat. There's so much more space for memories to form. We had some good game nights and barbecues, though, right? You're right. It was good. Feels like it's been a long day. Yeah. A long few weeks. Not long enough, though. I'll drink to that. Mind if we get Chinese takeout tomorrow? Sure. I don't think either of us feel like cooking. I sort of a bunch, so we don't have to worry about cooking with the following day. I don't know if I want to eat that much Chinese food consecutively. That's because you're a big baby. Are you sure we're on top of the bills right now? As far as I know, yeah. Unless our flatmates drop the ball. I'm gonna unleash hell if they have. I can't think of anything else. How many journeys there are back do you think we'd have to do in your dad's van? Moving stuff? I don't know. 2 should do, hopefully. It'll be weird seeing everything all packed into the van. Wouldn't one of us have to get the tube if there are only 2 seats? I could probably just sit on the stuff in the back. Sounds safe. Nah. It'll be like when my dad used to drive my brother and I back from our childminders in his work van. I guess it could be fun, sitting on top of all of our furniture, like we're both smugglers or something. I don't even want to think about unpacking all that stuff. Can't even imagine dealing with this huge mattress. Yeah. Amongst everything else, too. Like, what are we gonna do with your wardrobe? That thing looks super heavy. Bo? Oh. You fell asleep. Guess I'll get some rest, too. It must be pretty late in the AM now. Thanks for chatting, Bo.